This program is brought to you in part by SalCal Real Estate Connections.
Welcome to Race in Action Today. We're here today to bring you the action from our favorite race venue, Limerock Park, the road racing center of the East. And the event today, and I'll tell you, it's my favorite event of the year. It's the Limerock Park Vintage Festival. We'll feature antique cars, vintage race cars with a history as rich as the Connecticut Tobacco Valley soil. And also, as an added feature, a one-of-a-kind 1937 BMW 328 Milli Meglia Beaglefalter will be here on hand at the Park Concourse, a rare occurrence indeed. I think it's time you find yourself a very comfortable chair and relax. We're about to see what vintage racing's all about and the people who make it happen.
Tonight's show is going to be dedicated to the sedans of the production type cars, as they have a great history in racing, and I'm sure you're going to find the show very interesting.
Yes, we have Martin Hanchay, who drives this beautiful Datsun 240Z, I believe. Now, was this always a race car, Martin?
Actually, it was a Datsun engineering car. It came into the country in 1974 with a diesel engine in it, and it set a land speed record, I believe, at Bonneville with the diesel. And then it sat around Datsun Comp for a year or two, and it was sold to a gentleman by the name of Casey Millette, who had some guys from Val's Parnell Racing converted into a race car. And in 1978, he came in third at the runoffs behind Paul Newman and Frank Leary.
Wow.
And then in 1979, he ran it in some IMSA GTU races, and his highest placing was second. So for a privateer, the car has a pretty good history.
Wow, I'm impressed, especially that land speed record. I didn't even hear about that. That's the first time I ever heard of that.
It's kind of bizarre. I'm still working on actually determining what the speed was, but.
Now, have you been into vintage racing just recently, or is this something you've done for a while?
Actually, I started vintage racing in 1988 in a Boss 302 Mustang.
Oh yeah, now you're talking my language. You know, I love those cars. I'll tell you.
Squirt car.
Yeah.
Yeah,
this is a little more finesse here.
Yeah, this handles a lot better. The Mustang had more power though, but and then I ran Formula cars for most of the 90s. And that was a whole different thing. They were very nimble as compared to the sedans.
Now tell me, how do you like this Limerock track since they did all the work to it?
Well, everybody tells me it's faster, but so far I haven't gone faster since how it was before.
Now, are you using the classic configuration today?
Yeah, we're using the original configuration. I've got the original bias ply type tires on the car, so we're set up to period specifications in the 1970s.
Well, that's great. I'll tell you, the car is really a great looking car, and you keep it nice. And
I restored it myself.
Yeah, we kind of have a thing for these Datsuns. I have a son that has two 510s.
Oh, really?
So
yeah,
I'm always interested to talk to the Datsun people. You know.
When I was a kid, when I was 15, I worked for Bob Sharp Racing, so I have an affinity for Datsuns.
Yeah, I could see. That's how my son got his. Following Bob Sharp. He just got to love those cars, and he's got two beautiful cars. I keep telling him to get one ready because I got to get in. I got to catch this disease. You know what I mean?
I think you're right. I think it is a disease, an adrenaline rush disease.
Well, I don't want to hold you up because I know you're getting out, ready to get out there, but we want to thank you and good luck this weekend. We're going to keep an eye out for you.
Oh, great. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot. You were great. Yes, I have Rick Neves with us, who owns this absolutely beautiful Austin Healey 100. We don't want to make that mistake again, but I'll tell you, this car, when I was growing up, I used to dream about owning one of these cars. I'm telling you, that's how special they are. Now tell me, how did you restore this car yourself?
I did restore this. I found it in a barn. It was all taken apart, and convinced the owner to sell it to me. Spent 3 years restoring it, put it into shows, won some awards, and got tired of that, and this friend of mine talked me into racing it.
So how long, did you just start vintage racing?
About 3 years ago. A friend of mine got me interested in it. His name is Jim Smith. This is his number that's on the car. He's since retired and put his number up, and he doesn't know that I have his number today. Hopefully he'll be here today.
Well, that's great.
And I saw his son yesterday, and he still doesn't know that he sponsored me to get into this group, and he still doesn't know that I took over his number, so it's going to be quite a surprise for him.
Yeah, I bet. I'll tell you, they have a real nice, rich history, too, these cars in racing, and they were just such a great street car. I'll tell you, it was just like an exciting event to drive one of these cars.
Sure.
Now, how do you like it being on a racetrack? Did it take a while to sort out, or no?
It's fantastic. I started as a spectator, and the guy that sold me this car, we used to camp up on the hill and put our arms across the fence and dream about being down there with the other racers. And by and by, we got this car together and said, I think I'd like to try that, and got involved with a club, and yeah, it's a blast.
Where are you from?
I'm from Millis, Massachusetts.
Okay. Yeah, this is almost like a home track then, huh?
It is my home track.
Yeah, this place is gorgeous. I'm telling you. I can't tell people enough how much I love it here. You come here to the scenery and the cars and the history. It's just something special.
It is special.
Do you go to any other events with this car?
Yes, we're at Pittsburgh. That's a track that goes through the city and go across a couple of the bridges in the city, and that's pretty exciting. There's curbs and trees and fire hydrants and stop signs to worry about, but a little bit, it's very exciting.
Well, we certainly want to thank you for having a word with us, and I really need to commend you. The car is gorgeous, and I'm sure you're going to have some fun.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. You were excellent.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
Yes, we have Jake Clapp with us, who owns this beautiful Datsun Z. And I'll tell you, I'm not sure the year of it, but I bet you know a few things about this car, Jake.
Yeah, it's a 72 Datsun. We just finished it this year. We're on a budget racing, but we managed to get it done and get out here for the historics.
You got your little buddy here. Who's this guy?
That's my son, Jack.
Hey, say hello, Jack.
Hi.
Yeah, this event is really something special. It's a family event, and we just love coming here. I'll tell you. Where are you from?
I tell you, I'm from North Haven, Connecticut. My whole family's here. My parents are here from Southbury. My sister and her family from New York City. My other sister from Westport, Connecticut is coming, so it's a great day. The people here are phenomenal. The staff here at Limerock has just been great. It's really been a great time.
Now tell me, how'd you come to pick a Datsun?
Actually, my dad had one of these cars. He's walking away now. When I was a kid, and it rusted right in half. And ever since then, I sort of had the bug to get another one, and that's how I ended up getting one of these cars. But I love the car. It handles great. They got me out with these big Corvettes, and it's just a thrill to be out there with some of these cars that I'm actually sort of competitive with.
Oh yeah, we have a lot of history here with Bob Sharp. He was actually here. I was just talking to him, and I have a son that has two 510s.
Oh yeah,
and we love them. I'll tell you. One of these days, I know he's going to get the disease, and he'll be bringing one of them up here.
I can't believe there's 3 240Zs here this weekend, and I've seen at least four of the 510s. All very competitive, and it's these guys are here to race. It's a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, this is a great event. I'll tell you. The camaraderie and the place itself is something special.
There isn't one person that's come by that hasn't said, I had one of these, somebody had one of these. I used to work on these cars. Everybody's got a story, and you're right. All these people here are so friendly. Everybody's got information to give you, good information about the track, about the car. It's just, sorry I didn't get into it earlier in my life.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I'm going to talk to the staff here. I think there needs to be more than one event a year.
Oh, that would be awesome.
You know, because now we're starting to get a lot of cars.
Yeah.
And
there's over 300 cars here this weekend.
So if you split it up with 2 events, then you can please everybody.
Oh yeah. And the only if I had a complaint, the only thing is there's a lot of cars in each group. So you're right. I think if they split it up a little bit, that would be great. Absolutely.
Well, we want to thank you for your interview, and we're going to keep an eye out, see how you do on that racetrack.
Thanks.
Okay. You're excellent.
Jake really looked good out on that racetrack with this 240Z, and believe me, he had just a wonderful weekend as the car really performed well for him.
Yes, I have Bob Stevens with owns this absolutely gorgeous red Mustang. I believe it's a Shelby car, but I got a feeling you may know a little bit about this car.
It is. It's 1965. It was the 67th one built. I bought it new down at Larson Ford in Westchester in June of 1965. I had it 9 weeks, drag raced it, and I totaled it.
Wow.
Put it back together approximately 8 years ago as a race car, and we've been racing it for 8 years now.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a history that is.
Yeah.
It's rare to find somebody who literally bought the car new. I'll tell you, that's very rare.
Well, I wrote to Mr. Shelby and I asked him where I could try one. I had seen the car at the New York Auto Show, and he told me to go to Larson Ford, and we went down and bought it off of a fellow by the name of Bill Kobe, the salesman.
I could remember going to Tasca Ford looking at the Shelby cars, and they also had the lightweight cars too to drag, the big cars, the Galaxy.
Yes, they did. And Tasca's back in it now again.
Yeah, they're into it pretty heavy actually. And I can remember also going to Williams Ford and looking at a brand new Cobra sitting in the showroom.
The day I went to pick this up, they had a 1964 sitting on the showroom yet. Chrome wire wheels with 2 4-barrels, and I almost bought that car instead of this one. Except they wanted $2,000 more.
Yeah, they weren't cheap. Back then, let me tell you, $6,000 was a lot of money.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
I mean, even these cars were like $4,000.
45, 95 or something like that.
If memory serves me correct, you could have bought a regular fastback Mustang 4-speed for probably $2,700.
Correct.
Right?
Correct. Yeah. And when I bought my car, I traded the wheels, the Shelby wheels, for a 411 gear ratio, and they.
Yeah, is that right? Yeah. Now tell me, have you been to other racetracks with this?
Yes, I have. I've raced at Elkhart Lake, Road America. I've been up to Moseport last year. Come to Limerock. I go to Watkins Glen frequently. I've been to New Hampshire International, Poconos, and Summit Point, West Virginia. Travel around.
Where are you from?
I'm from a little town called Knox, New York, in Albany County, northwest Albany County.
Oh yeah. So this is your home track.
Yes, it is, yeah. But I haven't raced here in 3 years. I've been all the other tracks.
All the other places, huh?
And it shows when I'm out there.
Well, I'll tell you, this course takes your attention. I mean, it's a tight course, and
it's a driver's course.
You got that right.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't need much power to get around here.
Right.
Good.
Right. Yeah, it's momentum. Yeah.
Well, I have to commend you. The car is absolutely gorgeous.
Thank you.
I could tell you really maintain this car. And we're going to keep an eye out for you. What group are you in today?
Group 7.
7, yeah. Oh, there'll be some ground pounders in there, huh?
Yeah, there's a lot of them. A lot of them going fast.
Well, thank you for your interview, Bob. It's just great
you.
talking to you, and I hope you have a great weekend.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. You were great, Bob.
Okay.
Yes, we have Rod Folio with us, who owns this beautiful number 55 race car. I believe it's a Mazda, but I think you probably know a little bit about this car, Rod.
Thanks a lot. There's an RX-3. There are not many of them that are running in the country anymore. This RX-3, however, was built as a purpose-built race car. It's all tube frame. The only thing that's really stock on the car, because back in the 70s and 80s you had to have the metal top and the cowl.
And that's it.
And that's basically it. This is a fiberglass body unit. In the front, it all comes off in one piece, well, two, with the hood and the nose. And the back all comes off too. And it's all tube frame. It has a dry sump engine. It's a little rotary 12A Bridgeport motor. Goes very well. The thing is, in the group that I'm in, of course, I'm with all the big honking V8 cars, and what I have to do is, unfortunately, is drive the car 10/10ths all the time. So,
well, you know, it's really, we're not really worried about winning and losing. I mean, driving a car like this has to be a thrill in itself.
It is, and what's really nice is the fact that I was right in the middle of all the Donovan Jags, and they're driven by excellent drivers. And I've known these people for a long time. This is my 41st year at the track. And to be in the middle of them and where they get out of shape, I don't have to worry. I can just go as close as possible because I know they're not going to do anything stupid. It's really great to drive with these guys because they're absolutely sensational.
Oh yeah, they have some real great people here.
Yeah, it's Jack Bush and Wilson Wright and Bob. I don't know the other driver. But they're terrific. They're great competitors and a lot of fun to race with. And as a matter of fact, at the party last night, they said, you know, what was really neat is it was a real crowd pleaser. Somebody getting right in the middle because they didn't know what the hell it is. What is that car? Well, it's an RX.
They make a lot of noise, huh?
This is a very quiet one because I have this big Limerock muffler plus the muffler that's existing on the side where the exhaust used to come out. But I knew that wasn't going to happen because of this, the sound restrictions. But basically, my crew and I, we've been together since '69, and other fella has been with me since '75, a neighbor across the street who made the mistake of coming over and asking what I was doing with the cars. And so that
caught the disease.
Yeah, so that was kind of a lot of fun.
Well, I'll tell you, the car surely got an interesting history. And judging by the smile on your face, I know you're going to have some fun here.
Yeah, we're gonna do as best we can, as far as we can go, and you know we're not going to worry about any little noises that here and this and that. You know, we're just going to have a safe race and enjoy ourselves too, and give the crowd something to cheer about.
We certainly are glad you came, Rod, and I'll tell you, you know, we always love to watch cars, and these cars we don't see many of, and we love coming to this event.
Thanks very much.
Thank you for your interview. You were great.
Rod's Mazda really looked good, great out in that racetrack, and boy, I'll tell you, he knows how to handle this car. And believe me, he's in heavy company out there. Super Stinger, yeah, that's a great name for this Corvette of Al Dabanis. And boy, I'll tell you, it just never ceases to amaze me how good this car always looks.
Yes, we come across a very familiar face, Al Dabanis, in this absolutely gorgeous orange Corvette. And I'll tell you, Al, every time I come and look at this car, it looks better and better.
Well, thanks. I appreciate that. We spent a lot of time cleaning it up, and it's been a good car for us.
Now, you've been to many places this year, or no?
Actually, I haven't done much racing this year for a variety of reasons. But 3 weeks ago, I was up at the Glen. I did 4 laps and blew my motor.
Oh, boy.
So we've been scrambling to put a backup motor in this car just for this weekend.
Wow, that's, I know it's tough when you got an event coming up and it happens right before the event. Now, where are you from, Al?
Millbrook, New York. It's about 25 miles east of here.
Well, this is your home place, right?
It is. This is where I learned to watch car racing back in the 60s, and I've been involved ever since.
Now tell me, you still got the Shelby sign on the back of the car?
Still have the Shelby sign on the back of the car. Shelby Corvette 001.
Yeah.
It really upsets the Shelby Mustang guys a little bit.
Yeah, I bet it does. I know, it caught my attention, I'll tell you that. Well, Al, I'll tell you, it's always a great pleasure to see you. You always look great out in that racetrack. When we're taking footage of the cars going around, I always notice you're right in the thick of things.
Well, great, thanks. We love to be out there, and we're having so much fun. I just can't stand it sometimes.
Yeah, I know. Judging by the smile on your face, I know you love this place.
I do. I really do.
We want to wish you luck, and we're going to keep an eye out for you. I got a feeling you're certainly going to have a good time this weekend.
Well, thanks. I appreciate it, and nice to see you again.
Always a great pleasure to see you. Thanks a lot, Al.
There might be a backup motor in this car, but you never know it. He really was getting around the racetrack, and boy, I'll tell you, he's with some real heavy hitters out there.
Yes, we have Bob Bodine here, who has this beautiful white car. I'm not even sure what it is, but I got a feeling, Bob, you know a little bit about this car.
Yep, it's a 1957 Devin Ryan Special. It's built by Peter Ryan of Mont Tremblant area, one of his, if not his first car. And it's a Chevrolet-powered, Devin-bodied home built. It's got a Corvette motor, a Corvette transmission, and it's a hoot to drive.
What time frame would you say the car come from?
Well, it was built in 1957, so it was driven from probably 57 to maybe 60 at the most, and it became pretty archaic at that time. And it was put into a barn in upstate, in Canada, and left, and a guy named Mike Lester found it after 40 or 35 years in a barn. It was buried up to halfway up in mud, and he restored the car. And I got it from him about 6-7 years ago.
Well, I have to tell you, the car is absolutely gorgeous. Now, does it have like a tube frame?
It's a custom-built, home-built, square tube chassis, 4-inch chassis with some cross members and things like that.
So when you step on the gas here, this thing creates some excitement.
A lot of excitement, especially if you're inside it. It's a real thrill.
Well, we want to wish you a lot of luck this weekend, and we're going to keep our eye out. I got a feeling you're going to have some fun today.
I am going to definitely have fun.
Okay. Thank you for your interview. You were excellent.
Okay, great.
Bob's Devin Ryan Special looks right at home with all these sports cars, and boy, I'll tell you, he knows how to drive this car too. As that group had some real interesting cars in it, but he handled this car just great.
Yes, we have Mitch Ital, who drives this absolutely gorgeous Devlin SS. And I'll tell you, Mitch, every time I see you, you got a very pretty car with you. What do you know about this car?
This is a great car. These were built in California by a guy named Bill Devin, who was in the bodybuilding business. So he made fiberglass bodies. And then he decided, you know what, I want to build a whole car. So in 1957, he hooked up with this guy in Ireland who built the chassis. And then they shipped the chassis from Ireland to the U.S., and then they finished the car. And it's got a very large Chevy V8 in it, 339 cubic inches with fuel injection, and it's very fast.
I'll tell you, stepping on the gas here got to be an exciting experience.
Yeah, stepping on the brakes is even more exciting sometimes, but stepping on the gas, it makes a lot of noise because there's no mufflers, and the car takes off. It really does take off.
So it has like a tube chassis?
It's a tube chassis with disc brakes and a 4-speed and, like I said, a big Chevy motor in the front. Weighs about a little over 2,000 pounds. So I'm the heaviest part of the car.
Now, has this car been here before at Limerock?
Not for this event. I've driven it at Limerock here before a couple of times, though. I just bought the car a few months ago. We did some work on it, and here we are. We tried to get it ready for this.
Yeah, this event is my favorite event of the year. I'm not going to kid you. I love coming here, and we see wonderful cars like this, and I'll tell you, I want to commend you for bringing the car here, but I got to keep an eye out because I think this thing could be pretty exciting.
Oh, this thing's exciting, and you don't even have to watch. Just listen. You'll hear me go around the track.
Okay. Thanks a lot. You're always great, Mitch.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
Mitch's Devlin SS with its Corvette motor really performed good as he really got around this track great. I'll tell you, he did an excellent job today. As we show you pictures of some of the cars we covered today, we come to the conclusion of the show, and I hope everybody has enjoyed it as much as we have producing it. It's always a great time to come up to Limerock here to see this vintage event, and I want to remind everybody we still have some follow-on shows, and we're going to be getting into some real heavy-duty performance cars, these big bore sports cars and Corvettes and that kind of thing. So please tune in next week as we're going to get into some of these faster cars. But I also want to thank our crew for the excellent job they do, and we also want to thank Limerock Park. They're just excellent hosts and really put on a great event here. As you could see, this is really getting to be something special. This program is brought to you in part by SalCal Real Estate Connections. Special thanks to the Race in Action Today crew, Dwayne Cody, Bill Majak, David Seidlinger, and Lisa Backus. And also we want to thank our home station, Nutmeg TV, for all their support. We want to thank Just Results Weight Loss Center in Bristol, Connecticut for all their support. And also we want to thank Big Apple Pizza for all their support and all the great things they do down at their restaurants.